Hello and welcome back to the second video on my YouTube channel. I know this may seem like a complete contrast from the last video that I had shared, but this one is watercolor. I happen to be a self-taught watercolor artist, but I have also been through ample videos of people and artists whose works have greatly inspired me over time, and one such great artist would be Whitehead. Sir's work has grasped me for almost about a year now, and I have been obsessing over his videos, and I try to learn as best as I can from his techniques and try to fuse it with my own ideas, understandings and urbanscapes. For the purpose of these paintings, I am using A4 watercolor sheets. I have divided them into two halves and I will only be making one for this video. Hopefully I will upload more in the upcoming ones. I believe as an artist, although I have delved into very many techniques and very many styles and learned from so many various artists, I may have found that my heart belongs primarily to urbanscapes, cityscapes, and abstract watercolor paintings. The illustration for this particular piece has already been prepared, and just like Sir, I will start with the blue portion, that is the sky. Here what you will find is that the idea is to leave the strokes very rough and also to bring it down. If you wish to, you can also tilt your page so that the water flows down. I have also sprayed some of the extra color that remains on the brush onto the page. I have flicked on the brush, and that could be a useful technique. The strokes of blue have been very roughly applied, and next I will go on to some black. I have picked a tiny bit of black onto my brush and allowed it to also spread over my blue. You can see how that's already working out beautifully with sort of like a blue tint on my black. And these paintings will primarily be about your understanding of highlights and shadows, just like it is in any other painting. Although I have applied yellow here, you will find that I have allowed the yellow to mix with the blue. That sort of allows a continuity between two colors. They will blend, and since it is watercolor, it will definitely have to be quick. That is why it is a 5-minute process video. One major problem where you have to overcome is you must know when to stop when it comes to these paintings. Often I find myself putting colors almost everywhere, but you have to know where to not paint, even if painting happens to be your favorite part. So far I'm just playing with strokes of yellow, blue and black, and you can see how mixing the blue onto the paper with the yellow itself has sort of given it a green touch. You have to allow yourself to understand which are the areas where you need the darker shades compared to the ones which have the lighter shades. Here, this part where I'm coloring with the brownish yellow is sort of like the backdrop. The street lights are in front, and so my idea is to make these parts a little darker. Once again, I will go back to the blue. It is not yet dried up and I needed a little more pigment, so yes, I've added it here. Now I'm going to tilt the page because the paint is almost entirely still very wet, and so it's going to come down, and you can see how it's creating a texture and it's creating a blend. They do not segregate, and that is why we need to be quick so that the colors are allowed to blend with each other. That is what creates, the beauty in these paintings. In this particular piece, I have chosen blue to be the dominant color, so I'm also going to spray it a little, flick on the brush, and I'll also add a little bit of water and make it look mild wherever necessary. This is the part where I add red. Adding red to any painting happens to be my favorite part, and I never do it in abundance. Just those little spots that sort of steal the show, and you can see how I'm just touching them slightly. Adding the red in abundance will completely steal the show of the blue color, which is meant to be dominant. I have also added some brown here, sort of like to give a shadow effect to this part of the city. It is important to understand that certain sections of this painting would also have to be revisited only when parts of it have dried up. This is all I wanted to do with the painting as long as it was wet. Now that it has sort of dried up, it has dried up about 60-70%, and I'm revisiting it and adding little blots of brown onto windows and shadow areas. And that makes it the very last element of my painting. So this is what the painting looks like after drying up, and I feel like there could have been a little less color in certain places. But what matters most to me is what you think about it, and you know I love to hear your thoughts. So please let me know through the comments section, and see you next time. Bye!